Hello, hello. Today we are going to look at Freshdesk, which was number 10 on the Help Center examples. This is post-filming Carissa. I only realized at the end that my camera wasn't on the entire time that I filmed this. So unfortunately, in this beautiful description through Freshdesk, you will not see my face this entire time. I don't want to renew it. I don't want to redo it again because this is my genuine reaction looking at it for the first time. So I don't want to pretend, if that makes sense. So sorry. All right, right off the bat, I really love this branding. This is really pretty. I like a good doodle, like a doodle that has brand colors, simple. I feel like it just makes things a bit more human, real. Relatable. I don't know. I don't know what word it does, but it's I don't know. This is really nice. I like this branding a lot. So at top they have the getting started, community video library, agent training, great. We'll jump into that in a little bit. Again, the icons, very neat, clean, nothing too crazy. And there's also like the actual descriptions of what each section is, amazing. I don't know why this is the knowledge base page. So I don't know why there's not 9. Maybe there's a reason. Is there a reason? But when you go to the view all, you can see the rest of them, so that's fine. Now I would just move one extra up, if possible, just so it's even. Oh, very cool. Okay, I haven't really seen this or a lot of this, where it's like this FAQ repository, and all the FAQs are on a single page. That makes a lot of sense. I like that. I like the concept of only opening up whenever you just want an answer or a question answered. Um, I think it takes up less space as well because sometimes with the FAQ page you just have like unlimited questions. So the only really way to make it like less overwhelming is if you have like a table of contents with the questions, and then just have them jump to those sections when they're reading about it. But I mean, if you have it this way, the user can read through the actual questions because you can. Let's see. Okay, so it says Zapier in it. So let me see if I close this. I do Control Find Zapier. No, it doesn't show up. But if I open this, no, which one was it? Oh God. Here, it was this one. Then it should. Okay. So that might be difficult, right? So if I don't know, maybe if I'm trying to look for a specific word and I want to just go through this list quickly, normally if it's all open, I can do a control find and I can try to find this keyword Zapier. Whereas in this case, I would have to open up the section in order to find it, which kind of defeats the purpose of doing control F. So I wonder if there's a way for them to be able to make it so that the control find would also look within the dropdowns, because that'd be really nice. But otherwise, this is really cool. I really like this concept of having all the FAQs in one place. It makes a lot of sense in my book because FAQs are one of the ones that like they're at the bottom of articles, but then sometimes if you, let's say you're writing an article, you read an FAQ, and then you're like, oh shit, I read that somewhere, where was it? You're trying to remember the article you were in, where this kind of has like one spot for all of the FAQs. So maybe even using something like reusable content blocks. I know that Zendesk had like a beta feature for a while of reusable content blocks, but a lot of content softwares do have the concept of reusing content, right? So even if you had reusing content blocks in the pages to embed the FAQs, but then the FAQs all lived on this page, that would be really nice, right? Because then the FAQs are always the same and they can refer to all the FAQs and not have to remember what article was I on in order to see that FAQ. Not important, but just something to think about. Another one of those callouts embedded. So good. In this case, right, they're actually almost like leasing it to the marketing team or to the growth team. So they're saying, okay, cool, we know a lot of people come to this documentation, or maybe Google favors SEO for Help Center docs. So for example, if I had a Help Center doc called How to Do X, and then our marketing team made a blog post called How to Do X, 10 times out of 10, my article is going to show up before the marketing, just because it's Help Center. Google recognizes that it's on a platform that is a Help Center platform, so it's always going to push those up to the top. So what you can do, if you're not using it for yourself, like which I suggest that you do, use it for community, use it for getting people into the course. If there was a course specifically about the free plan, which would be weird, but this is an example. If there's a course specifically about the free plan, you can say, oh, hey, look, we have a course here, go check it out. Or we have a community page talking about this, go check it out. It makes you can rent it out to your marketing team or rent it out to your growth team. And in this case, they did. They said, hey, you're not logged in, so we're showing you this. Do you want to start your free trial? And I think that's a great idea, especially if you're having, if this brings in a lot of users, if this is like a really big referral page, which it probably would because it's a Help Center document. So maybe controversial. I don't really like to put emails into the Help Center, and it does nothing to do with increased tickets at all. I would rather have a referral than just a random email. So, for example, if I have this in my Help Center and they want to reach out to the billing, they would just click on it, open up an email, type in billing, but we wouldn't get a referral. So we wouldn't know that they came from this article from the upgrade to higher plan from free section. Whereas if I change this to a button, I could change it to a button, I can change it to a link that opened up maybe a ticket with this email address already filled in, we're still getting the same outcome of them being able to reach out to the billing team, but we know that they reached out from this page. Um, Also, even if you have the referral, maybe that person um, maybe that person sent it to someone else and email this email to get to talk to them. But like, how did you know, right? Like, how did you know to get to there? Whereas alternatively, if they're on this page and they say, oh yeah, this is where I was able to contact the billing team, they can refer them to this page, and at least you can have them potentially seeing the information beforehand, right? So that they don't have to reach out. But ultimately, if they need to reach out because it's like a specific billing issue, that button or that link that opens up a ticket directly to this team just makes it so much easier for referrers so that you know where your traffic is coming from and you know where your tickets are coming from. Um, so usually I like to look through as a help center and just try to remove all mentions of email so that they're not sending it through their own email source. But not again, can't stress enough, not removing the concept of reaching out to the support agent, right? You can still make it super easy for them to reach out to this particular team, but just having them go through your ticketing system and just sending them directly to a ticket to fill out and send, and then they can start answering through their email. So it's really no difference. It's just how you serve them, how to reach out to the specific team they need to reach out to. Cool, 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 cool. What else is there? Ooh, I'm confused. All right, this is the knowledge base. Not solutions. Is it the same? Explore how-tos. Nope, that's FAQ, sorry. Okay, so this looks like it's the same. What I would do, I wonder why it would be solutions. If it's solutions rather than knowledge base because there's concern that the reader wouldn't know what a knowledge base is, that's fine. I would just change this to solutions so that there's no confusion. So if I'm here, I know that I'm already looking at this section. I don't have to go back and forth. And then you can keep it, just say solutions, learn the best practice from your knowledge base. You can keep the knowledge base wording here. But if it's the same, I would just change that to solutions so that there's no trying to navigate between the two. We're trying to figure out why these two are different. I like this. Okay. So this is, I think I talked about this before, where you're able to dynamically change. Previously, I did it automatically, right? So for the person had to be logged in. I couldn't be an unlogged in person. But in this case, it looks like if it's very clear to the person what plan they're on, they're able to select which plan content to look at, and I think that's great. This solves the problem of if they're not logged in, you can still show them the correct documentation. I think it's really good, and I don't think you necessarily have to use it for plans either. You can use it. There's a bunch of use cases for these. You can do it for different plans. You can do it for different billings. You can do it for even different users. So, for example, if I'm the account owner and I have more permissions than a read-write access, you can just do different accesses. The only caveat to these is that the user who's reading has to know where they lie. So I would try to stay away from things that use like internal language. So if we're like, oh yeah, they're an enterprise customer, they might not know they're an enterprise customer, right? Because they don't know how much they're they may not know how much they're paying, or they may not be part of that decision to be on a specific plan. So just making it clear what their role is, I think that's fine. I'm assuming they know what their role is, or sorry, what their plan is here. I'm assuming they make it really obvious. I've never been in the Freshdesk tool, so I don't know if it's made clear, but I'm assuming it is. Ah, okay. So this is saying if you signed up before August 9th, 2021, your previous plan. I would move this to the top. I would not move this to the bottom. I wouldn't have this at the bottom because there's very high potential I would make it to the bottom. So if this was moved all the way up here, should I do it? Should I move it? Let's see. Okay, cool. So we could either have it here and then, yeah, I think that's a bit better. Playing around with it a bit, moving things around. But at least I know from the beginning, or at least I know from the get-go that I need to choose the one that's for August 9th. That was fun. I liked doing that. Cool. That's all I got. I really like Freshdesk documentation. I think it's really clean. I think it's just like little tiny tweaks that I would make. But that's me. That's not them. They can do whatever they want because it's good. And that's what matters. And yeah, that's it.